Hello, hey, it's Max.
Hi, Max. It's Sage. How are you?
Good, good. How are you, Steve?
I'm all right. How'd the story on the governor go?
It's good. It's good. It was a series of stories. Are you familiar with what's been happening in the past week?
I understand that the governor's been has been dealing with scandal charges that's messing up his run against the Democrat candidate. Am I right?
Yeah, that's more or less the case. So it's been just kind of reporting on that front. But that's all turned in, and yeah, thanks for being flexible and able to talk to me today about this.
Okay. So,
And is it okay before we begin if I record this just for my own transcription purposes after the fact?
no, that's fine. I was expecting to be recorded.
Okay, just want to make sure.
And would you mind if I got a copy of your recording?
Yeah, I can give it to you once we're done.
Okay. I mean,
And,
I do a recording myself. It's just that in case the quality of one of them's messed up, it helps to have the other available.
yeah, definitely. Um, so yeah, I saw someone sent the KSU men group to me or news about that, and it was just something I was curious about and thinking about running a story about, and I was wondering if maybe you could just explain to me kind of the origins of where the idea for the group started and kind of why you know I guess like why you felt the need for a TSU men's group to form. I would guess that we can get to. I'm sure there's probably people that are opposed to it. I'm just like, why do you need men's rights kind of
Well, okay.
mentality? But
So you just
before we
want
get into that, like, what was the origin of the group and like why did you want to start it?
Okay. Basically, KSU Men started because of a growing concern for men's rights on college campuses and men's rights internationally. And KSU Men in particular was founded after I did some research on the state of men's issues on Kennesaw State, and I did a report on it on avoiceformen.com, and I can happily send you the link to that article. And I'm about to publish a new piece on that, actually. I got in touch with this one group on campus called the Gentlemen's Club. Really awful name, but basically they were a group therapy session for guys. I went there, found out that they wanted the guys in the group to agree to not socialize with each other outside of the group at all. And I figured this is not conducive to open discussion. I wanted to make a place that was conducive to open discussion and at the same time actually offer the lobbying, mentoring, and journaling services that could help build a more equitable campus by addressing issues that were found on campus. And I'll get into those in a second. So KSUM was founded in November of last year. November, I think it was November, it's either November 6th or 11th. I can't remember which day. I can look that up for you. But the issues that we address on campus include changing the name of the IPV center on campus so that both men and women have equal exposure to the promotion. We also talk about a biased implementation of the rape aggression defense systems courses here on KSU. I'm about to publish a piece on that, so just watch A Voice for Men over the next few days, and you should see it. And we also
Okay.
yeah, I've also talked a bit about my recording rights being violated on KSU regarding the promotion of KSUM. I talked about other resistance and things like that. And basically, we're human rights activists that specialize in issues affecting men and boys. That's the sum total of what we do. And there's nothing else like us in the state.
Do you I guess you explained a few reasons of why you think the group is needed, but I'm curious like what has been the response so far in terms of support and opposition to the group? Have you? How many people are in the group or that are on board with the mission?
Right
And
now,
what
right.
are some of
I'm sorry?
what are some of the concerns you've heard so far about the group?
Okay, well, right now we have 10 official members, to answer one part of your question. And we
Yes.
have some of the reasons the group is important are, as I mentioned earlier, we found some issues on campus on an institutional, systematic level that need to be addressed regarding biased promotion of services that are supposed to be gender neutral. Rather, they're more promoted more heavily to women when there are men who need those services, like the IPV Center, right? So the IPV Center can offer services to both men and women, but they promote exclusively to women, and they make it hard for the male victims of domestic violence to know that they even exist. I didn't even know it existed until I had a chance conversation with the director, for example. And the self-defense course on class, the Rape Aggression Defense Systems course, has been reporting false statistics and propaganda that's harmful to men. And I can elaborate more on that later in this interview, but I don't want to go off on a tangent. But these kind of situations are reasons why a group like ours needs to exist, because somebody needs to actually be keeping this in check, since the school is not. The school has not been doing anything about it. The school has been pretty receptive to it. And the opposition, of course, our presence is polarizing. So we have some people who love us, some people who hate us. And the people who love us, I mean, we have men and women in membership. We do these tailgates where we go out to the campus green and we set up tables where we promote the group to people. And we had all sorts of people sign up. We had I think we're up to over 40 prospective members now. We just have to slowly convert them over to the official roster. And the people who oppose us, they typically would say things like, because we're talking about men's rights, they're worried that somehow we're misogynistic, that somehow we're opposed to women, and that's just not true. And it's the kind of political paranoia that comes from talking about previously taboo subjects. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So that's the kind of environment that we're dealing with.
I'm wondering if you can just to make sure I have it correct, like the main purpose of the group, or one of the main purposes that the group is in existence for, is to advocate for in places where there are certain women's-only programs to make them both open to men and women.
I'm sorry, could you repeat that again? You broke up a bit.
Yeah. Oh, just so I understand what you were saying, so I have a sense of it, a better understanding, is that basically one of the main points of the group is to, where there are women's-only services or resources offered on campus, to make sure that they're available to both men and women.
Yeah, we do advocate for Title IX, right? So whenever we find a service that is specifically for women, we want to make sure there's a male counterpart, and similarly, if there's a male-only service, we'd want to see a female counterpart as well. And one example I can give you there is the Women's Resource and Interpersonal Violence Prevention Center on KSU. They have services for men and women in the IPV Center, but the Women's Resource Center has services that men could benefit from in terms of family resources, but it's only offered to women, but there's no male counterpart at all. So that's a current Title IX issue that I'm trying to work with right now. And we essentially advocate for men on campus because no one else is, and we know that men do need that advocacy, and just no one else has been doing it so far.
Why do you think no one else has done it so far? Not just on KSU, but you mentioned it's like one of the first. Well, I'm going
to give you personal experience here. So okay. Of course this is just me, because a lot of people are afraid of speaking about taboo subjects. People kind of live in an environment where they like to talk about things that are politically fashionable in order to make them look like they know what they're talking about. But if they talk about things like men's issues or things like that, these are issues that people find kind of taboo, because there's this image that men are oppressive, that they are on top of the world, and that they aren't as deserving of compassion. But we have a different view, that is simply that everybody's a human being, and that even if we're talking about men, the fact of the matter is that men are human beings. They have thoughts and feelings of their own, and there's the everyday guy that has problems just like anyone else. And people don't, there are a lot of people I met that don't really want to jump on board with that because they're worried about what people would think of them. They're worried it will have an impact on their careers. They're worried that it will, in some way, come back and bite them.
What I saw on your website that there's a conference coming to KSU, and it's one of the first ones in the country. Is that correct?
Well, it's not going to be. This isn't the first conference of its kind. I think there was another one. I have a document here. If you bear with me for just 1 second, there was another.
Okay.
There was another international education forum back in 1994, and this looked to have been in Kansas City, Missouri, based on the information that was provided to me, University of Missouri. So we're not the first conference of our kind in the country. Where there was also the recently passed International Conference on Men's Issues in St. Clair Shores. So this is we've had other conferences before, but there is something unique about this one. And this conference is called Male Students in Peril. And what we're doing is we're bringing in speakers from around the country, and one's coming down from Canada, where we talk about equity issues affecting men and boys in academia. And this will be a test for the longevity of KSUM's model. And if it's a success, we will be replicating KSUM's model across the country. So this is a very important event, nonetheless.
Is that a goal of yours? I guess, like, what is the larger goal? Obviously, part of it is to, advocate for those rights on campus. But in terms of like a big picture, like if this
Sure.
movement, right?
Yeah, the big picture. A lot of us. I'm also with A Voice for Men, the flagship men's rights organization. I'm the collegiate activism director. And what we do there is we do pretty much everything men's rights related. And we, alongside with the National Coalition for Men, agree that a lot of the advocacy takes place in academia, where the idea is that there are a lot of people who are in the environment that I've described to you all over the country, even all over the world. And the idea is we want to find a model that we can actually show that works on a campus for men's rights advocacy. And if we have a model that's proven and it works, we can replicate it. So the idea is to put men's rights pretty much on campus, everywhere. And this is just a place where we can test it. And I can't predict the future, of course, but my attitude is we can't fail. Even if we found that the model is not what we're looking for, we learn something. And we know we take that and we try again.
You've answered the bulk of my questions that I have for you right now. I may have a few more as I get through just kind of writing the story. Is there, before, and I can send those to you later on, but before we stop chatting, is there anything I haven't asked you for now that you think is important to get across in terms of KSUM's message and what you're doing?
Could you run that by me one more time?
Oh yeah, is there anything else you'd like to add? I may have a question or two down the road, but...
Well, I mean, one thing I can tell you is that you're welcome to come to the meetings and see it for yourself. Our meetings are open to the public, and we do have tailgate events where we stand outside and we say, "Hey, how you doing? Let me tell you about our organization." And we had another reporter from the New Republic in Los Angeles Times. She's a freelance writer. She just said she wanted to do a report and she wanted to come over and see what was going on. And the invitation's open to you as well. And
what is the next one?
We're the last meeting for the summer semester is this next Tuesday, but we're going to pick right up again in the next couple weeks once fall semester starts. I don't know what the schedule is yet, but I'm thinking we're going to go for the same one. We'll do Tuesdays and Thursdays at 4:30 p.m. Eastern Time in the Computer Science Building, Clendenin, and you'll see it on our website. You have our website address?
Yes, I do.
Okay, then go just watch that blog and watch A Voice for Men. That's where a lot of those reports come from. Okay,
sounds great. Well, Paige, I appreciate you taking some time out of your afternoon to chat with me, and I may have a question or two down the road, but I can follow up to see if that's cool with you.
Okay, well, thank you, and I'll be happy to share the recording I have with you for the sake of completeness. Could you share the one you have with me?
Okay, I can do that.
All right, thanks so much. Just email me.
Thank you.
All right, catch you later.